What's going on, everyone? Excalion here, and it is a great day to be a console controller PvP player in Destiny 2. Well, yesterday specifically, whenever they released the TWAP, and we got some upcoming notes for, I believe, the 19th of July. I'm just going to start this video off by saying it's not going to be a long video. It's going to be pretty brief. And this is good news. Now, Lorentz Driver, I'm sure you all are well aware of what it is, introduced in Season 15, Season of the Lost, and immediately became, I would say, a problem. And so much so that it warranted a small aim assistance nerf for, I think, special linear fusion rifles, which would be that and Arbalest. And the other part of that is, Arbalest, prior to Lorentz Driver coming out, had recently been nerfed because it was such a problem. So whenever Lorentz came out, and it was primarily like Arbalest on steroids, especially once you got the catalyst done, and you could, you get the weapon telemetries for it or whatever, and then you just run around body shotting people with it. It creates the suction effect, which is like, think of freaking Dragonfly on steroids. The thing was absolutely ridiculous, and two big problems with it: aim assistance and flinch resistance. It had crazy aim assistance. I say crazy, it says, it was only 32 and they're bringing it down to 22. For whatever reason, their linears in general are just ridiculously sticky. The other part is the flinch resistance. And that was really the bigger issue. It felt like you could be shooting somebody and they'd be just about dead, and then they just flick to your head with the Lorentz and get the shot off. And it's been extremely oppressive. They word it correctly here. They say Lorentz Driver is still oppressive to play against, and we wanted to address this more thoroughly. So, reduced aim assistance stat from 32 to 22, reduced suction against players, and remove the universal 2x flinch nerf from the previous change. Since we've changed flinch for all linear fusion rifles, see above, this change also applies to Arbalest. So, I'm hoping that Lorentz is going to be a little bit more manageable now. It's been really my only gripe for a while now. Even I've really not had a problem with fusion rifles. I like to use fusion rifles, so it wasn't really an issue for me. Or the pellet shotguns and stuff like that. Never really an issue for me. Even down here, they're giving a little nerf to Last Word, which I'll go over here in a second. Never felt like that was super oppressive. Lorentz felt like it was overly oppressive, and maybe not so much for the PC community or the M&K community more thoroughly, but on controller it just feels like Lorentz was just ridiculous to play against, and I'm glad to see this happening. Arbalest is going to come back up now. That's really all this means, because Arbalest is going to have its same aim assistance stat, and honestly, that's fine. I really haven't had a problem with Arby, just because it seems like, it doesn't have all the extra benefits, Arbalest is great. I'm happy with this. This is good. They're also giving Gjallarhorn a nerf. They felt like the tracking was too good. So that plus the proximity detonation, they're taking away the proximity detonation. Honestly, that might make it better, because the proximity detonation a lot of times will screw you over. But they are also bringing the Wolfpack rounds down to deal half damage to players. I will say, if somebody gets hit by a Gjallarhorn next to me and I get hit by the Wolfpack rounds, it seems like 8 times out of 10 you're getting knocked with that. So glad to see that happen. And then Last Word, they say that has reached a usage level on controller where it warranted some adjustment. With this change, it will be a little harder to land crits while hip firing, and it will be less deadly at extended range. Reduced hip fire precision aim angle by 50%. Precision aim angle dictates how far off the head you can be aimed and still have the assistance. Grant you a critical hit instead of a body shot. Aim reduced damage and aim assistance fall off distance by 3 meters. So, all in all, big changes here. It's still Season of the Haunted. We still have a lot of issues there, some of these other special weapons, Like, I feel like Lorentz was just such a problem, and whereas I feel like if the more, like, we only had linear fusion rifles as heavy weapons when Destiny 2 came out. They weren't special weapons. Then eventually we got Arbalest and then Lorentz, and they were special. And I feel like the way with the ammo economy is and stuff like that, like, if it's a special weapon, it should be less effective than a heavy weapon. And then if you take something that's like a primary weapon, such as Fighting Lion or Vex Mythoclast, you know, those should be even less effective than the special variants. And Fighting Lion it used to have a lot of one-shot problems. I think now it doesn't one-shot hardly as much anymore, and they took care of Vex. And the other problem with Vex was everybody didn't have it. To this day, everybody doesn't have it. You know, Vex is still rather difficult to get. So I don't think that was as big of a problem. But everybody had Lorentz. It was available in the Season Pass in Season 15. So everybody could get it. At some point in their Season Pass, even the free-to-play players could get that weapon. So this is a good change. I'm glad to see this, finally. It's gone through a couple of different small nerfs. And you might even say this is a small nerf, but it's getting a lot done to it here. And quite frankly, you love to see it. But that's going to do it for me, guys. Thanks for checking out the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And as always, Godspeed, my friends.